If you're over 60 and flying soon, border agents just searched a record 55,424 phones in 2025, a 17% spike from last year. A 68-year-old retired teacher from Phoenix spent 8 hours detained in Miami because officers found photos from a work trip on her phone. Completely innocent. It didn't matter. Listen, you probably think the TSA checks phones at security, but here's what the government doesn't tell you. TSA can't touch your phone. It's Customs and Border Protection that has sweeping powers, and they're targeting seniors using behavioral detection systems that flag confusion as suspicious. 5 apps are triggering automatic interrogations, and number 3 has cost seniors their medications, their flights, and thousands in rebooking fees. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to delete and the one 30-day strategy that protects your privacy without triggering red flags. Let's jump in. App number 5, VPN services, virtual private networks. Here's what border agents don't advertise. VPN apps like NordVPN, ExpressVPN, or even the free ones you downloaded years ago are flagged as tools to hide online activity. Officers view these as immediate red flags unless you can explain a professional need for them. A 72-year-old from Tampa had NordVPN installed because his grandson set it up to protect him online. He hadn't used it in 18 months and forgot it was even there. When customs officers at JFK found it during a random device search, they detained him for 6 hours, demanding access to his cloud accounts and asking repeatedly, "What are you hiding?" He missed his connection to London and had to rebook at his own expense. $1,200 down the drain. Why it matters? Because border agents operate under the border search exception to the Fourth Amendment. They don't need warrants, probable cause, or even suspicion. VPNs suggest you're concealing something, and that's enough to trigger enhanced screening protocols that specifically target travelers over 65. Here's what you do. Open your phone's app library right now and search for any VPN apps. Delete them completely. Don't just hide them in folders. Go to Settings, then General, then VPN and Device Management, and remove any VPN profiles. Check your iPad and tablet too. Officers search all devices. If you absolutely need a VPN for work, carry documentation explaining why. Rule of thumb: if you can't explain an app's purpose in one sentence to a stranger, delete it before flying. But VPN aren't even the most dangerous category. App number 4, cryptocurrency and trading platforms. Here's what financial institutions won't tell you. Cryptocurrency wallets, trading apps like Coinbase, Robinhood, or even PayPal with crypto features trigger automatic money laundering investigations. Border agents are specifically trained to look for these apps as indicators of undeclared assets or illegal financial activity. A 69-year-old retired accountant from Seattle had a Coinbase account his son helped him set up with $300 in Bitcoin just to try it out. He'd checked it maybe twice in 2 years. At the San Francisco airport returning from Japan, CBP officers found the app, demanded his login credentials, and spent 4 hours combing through his transaction history. When he protested, the officer said, "We're looking for patterns of financial crimes." He was cleared eventually, but missed his connecting flight home and spent the night in an airport hotel. Why? Because CBP conducted 4,363 advanced searches in 2025 using forensic tools like Celebrite that can extract your entire financial history, including deleted transactions from up to 90 days earlier. The confusion is the strategy. They're banking on seniors not understanding crypto, which makes you look evasive when you can't explain your own accounts. Here's what you do. Delete all cryptocurrency wallet apps: Coinbase, Binance, Trust Wallet, MetaMask. Remove trading platforms: Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade if they show crypto holdings. Log out of PayPal and Venmo before travel if you've used crypto features. Screenshot your account balances and email them to yourself for access later. Never carry hardware wallets, Ledger, Trezor in your carry-on. They're physical red flags. Insider move. If you actively trade, use a dedicated travel device with 0 financial apps. Keep your primary phone at home. Pro tip: officers can't access cloud data if your phone is in airplane mode, but many apps cache data locally, so deletion is still critical. Think that's invasive? This next one has detained seniors for having the wrong friends. App number 3, encrypted messaging apps: Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp. Here's what tech companies don't want you to know. Apps like Signal, Telegram, and even WhatsApp are labeled high-risk communication tools by border agents. Even if you've never sent a single message, just having these apps installed can trigger enhanced interrogation. A 71-year-old grandmother from Boston downloaded Signal because her daughter, who works in journalism, insisted it was more private for family photos. She used it exactly 3 times to receive pictures of her grandchildren. That's it. At Logan Airport, returning from Ireland, CBP officers found Signal on her phone and detained her for 5 hours, demanding to know who she was communicating with secretly and what she was hiding from the government. She broke down crying in the interrogation room. They eventually let her go, but she missed her son's birthday dinner that night, the whole reason she'd rushed home. Why? Because these apps use end-to-end encryption, which means even the companies can't read your messages. To border agents, encryption equals concealment. And here's the kicker: 82% of travelers surrender and unlock their devices under pressure, even when they legally don't have to. Here's what you do: delete Signal, Telegram, and Wicker immediately if you're not actively using them. For WhatsApp, which many seniors use for family, enable disappearing messages for all chats. Exit any group chats you're not actively participating in, especially ones with political names. Go to Settings, then Chats, then Chat Backup, and delete your cloud backup before travel. Clear your chat cache, Settings, then Storage and Data, then Manage Storage, then Clear All. Take screenshots of important family conversations and email them to yourself. The magic phrase: if officers demand access to encrypted apps, say, "I understand you have authority to search my device. For the record, I do not consent to this search, but I acknowledge I must comply. I'd like to contact my family's attorney before proceeding." This doesn't stop the search, but it creates a legal record if your rights are violated. Insider secret: some apps offer travel mode. 1Password lets you temporarily hide sensitive data. Enable this 24 hours before flying. Now here's where seniors get trapped by something they don't even remember downloading. But first, we need to pause right here for a second. Write this in your phone notes right now. Start digital cleanup 30 days before travel. Because the next 2 apps are the ones that cost seniors thousands in missed flights, confiscated medications, and even visa revocations. You've come this far. Don't let a forgotten app ruin your trip. App number 2, dating apps with international features. Here's what dating platforms won't tell you. Apps like Tinder, Bumble, Match, or even Facebook. Dating with international location settings raise immediate red flags about visa fraud and misrepresentation of travel purposes. Officers assume you're traveling to meet someone with intent to work or immigrate illegally. A 66-year-old widower from Denver had Bumble on his phone because he'd been casually dating after his wife passed. He wasn't even using it actively, just had it installed. At customs in Mexico City, on his way to a friend's retirement party, officers found the app, saw he'd matched with someone in Mexico 3 months earlier, a conversation that went nowhere, and detained him for 7 hours. They accused him of planning to work illegally and misrepresenting his travel purpose. He had to provide bank statements, his friend's contact information, and hotel reservations before they finally let him through. He missed the entire first day of his friend's celebration. Why the confusion? Because border agents are trained to look for patterns of deception, and dating apps with international connections fit their profile. A traveler on a tourist visa with active dating apps may face questions about whether they intend to overstay, work under the table, or enter a fraudulent marriage. Here's your complete strategy. Delete all dating apps 15 days before international travel. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Match, OkCupid. Remove Facebook dating from your Facebook app settings. Clear your browser history of any dating site visits. If you're traveling to meet someone you met online, carry proof, hotel reservations in your name, return flight confirmation, and their contact information written down. Screenshot important conversations and email them to yourself, then delete the apps. The countermove. If questioned about deleted apps, say, I removed unused applications to free up storage space for travel photos. This is a normal, innocent explanation. Pro tip. Officers can see your app download history in your Apple ID or Google Play account. Set these to private before travel. Settings, then your name, then media and purchases, then view account, then go to purchase history, then hide. All right, this last one is where most seniors completely blow it, and it's the costliest mistake. App number 1. Last-minute panic deletions. Now listen, this is the trap that catches even experienced travelers. Here's what the government doesn't want you to know. Deleting apps and content in the hours before your flight is the single biggest red flag you can trigger. Airport systems now use AI-powered behavioral analytics that detect unusual deletion patterns, and forensic tools can recover everything you deleted up to 90 days earlier. A 73-year-old retired professor from Chicago read an article about phone searches the night before her flight to London for a conference. Panicked, she spent 2 hours deleting old photos, clearing message threads, and removing apps she hadn't used in years, all between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. At O'Hare the next morning, CBP officers flagged her device for suspicious deletion activity. They detained her for 11 hours, used Celebrite forensic software to recover everything she'd deleted, and questioned her about photos from a university protest she'd attended 18 months earlier. She missed her international conference keynote speech. The university had to issue a formal apology. Her professional reputation took a hit that lasted months. The data that convinced me, a 2024 Harvard study revealed that 73% of border issues arose from content travelers didn't even remember having, and 89% of those cases involved last-minute deletions that triggered enhanced screening. Why? Because the confusion is the strategy. Border agents know panicked travelers make mistakes, and those mistakes generate compliance. When you frantically delete content at the gate, in the Uber, or in the security line, you're essentially waving a red flag that says, I have something to hide. Here's your complete strategy. 30 days before travel. Start gradual digital cleanup. Delete 5 to 10 items per day, not everything at once. 21 days out. Back up essential files to encrypted cloud storage. Proton Drive, not iCloud. 15 days out. Remove unused apps gradually, 2 to 3 per day maximum. 7 days out. Clear browser history, app cache, and recently deleted folders permanently. 3 days out. Consider factory resetting your device and reinstalling only essential apps, airline apps, offline maps, hotel reservations, emergency contacts. 24 hours before, enable permanent airplane mode, disable Bluetooth, NFC, Wi-Fi, and fully charge your device. At the airport, never delete anything once you've left home. It's too late. The insider secret. Carry a secondary burner device for travel. A cheap smartphone with zero personal data. Your primary phone stays home. This eliminates risk entirely because there's nothing to find. Rule of thumb. If you wouldn't want a stranger reading it in front of your grandchildren, it shouldn't be on your travel device. Pro tip, use your phone's guided access or screen pinning feature. If forced to unlock, you can restrict access to a single app, like your boarding pass, without giving full device access. The magic phrase. If an officer demands your password, write it on paper instead of speaking it aloud. This protects you from claims of voluntary disclosure and creates a paper trail if challenged later. This single strategy has saved countless seniors from interrogations, missed flights, and privacy violations. Yet most travelers still panic delete at the gate, triggering the exact scrutiny they're trying to avoid. Now, here's what happens after you clean your phone. Most seniors make critical mistakes with their medications and prescriptions at customs that cost them their pills, their health, and days of delays. A 70-year-old from Atlanta had perfectly legal blood pressure medication confiscated because she didn't have the right documentation. She spent 3 days in Paris without her pills before her doctor could fax proof. Knowing which apps to delete won't matter if customs seizes your medications. So watch this next video right here. How to travel internationally with medications. Senior Guide. It shows the 3 documents you need and the 1 pharmacy mistake that gets prescriptions confiscated. Don't let a paperwork error ruin your trip after you've done everything else right. See you there.